Good morning, red Lunar Skywalkers, explorers of life, and being explorers of life. I just had the thought that life explores itself through us too. And maybe that's why, or that's when it's a challenge to the human, yellow human wavespell. When our own will runs contrary to what life offers us, or explores through us, or manifests through us, or lives through us, presents us with, we may be challenged. Polarized, stabilized challenge. I'm thinking of my last month, and occasionally I manage to sit there and think, okay, this really doesn't feel good. But what an interesting feeling. And just to explore that. No, because it comes with a lot of resistance and fear. Maybe something is happening or something will happen as a consequence of something else that will not be good. So, yeah, if the Skywalker brings so-called heaven to earth, it is, and stabilizes the human, it is really important for us to know what that means. How do we live? How do we need to live? How do we... A friend of mine used to use the term apply yourself, apply ourselves. How do we apply ourselves so that the flow of life through us is harmonious? So that the balance between when are we in the driver's seat and when are we in the boot is kind of sort of harmonious. I remember a situation of a hijacking where a friend of mine and I were hijacked, and he was stuffed in the boot. It wasn't funny then, I tell you. But we both survived. Or so it seems. Well, we can't die, can we now? I think we're living proof. Lol. But survival. Who's guiding us today? I should know. I think the serpent. Yeah. Tone 2 is guided by 2 seals previously. Tone 2, 7 and 12. Skywalker is guided by the serpent. So, as a human, the exploration and the heaven on earth we bring to ourselves through the body, through our life force. And this seems like, yeah, obviously, naturally. Well, I'm always kind of looking for when we are not happy explorers of life and allowing the flow. The yellow human, the challenge is, if the Skywalker is the challenged lunar tone to the human, and this, life happens to us, to whatever degree we are learning to either be in the driver's seat, and you want to have a good amount of wisdom when you're in the driver's seat, but it doesn't matter because every life is a learning experience. To some people, being in the driver's seat is not a happy space, and for some, being in the passenger seat is not a happy space. Let go and let God. Some teachings say the highest, to them, this is not me endorsing that or anything, it's just a thought. The highest form of bliss or contentment is to not driver's seat your life anymore. To really just be the water in the stream of life and let life and the earth's riverbeds and whatever take you ever. Now you are river, now you are cloud, now you are rain, now you are ocean. Now you are drunk up by someone, now you are ingested, digested, peed out. Now you become part of someone's body, whatever. And to explore wakefully all of that. That reminds me of the two modalities of dreaming. One being the observer of what happens in your dream. And most of us are rarely the observers of what happens in our dream. While we're dreaming, we're not aware that we're dreaming. We only know our dream upon waking. Which makes me think the dream never probably happened in any kind of pictures. It's the bridge towards the waking mind that colors in the information into the imagery. And therein lies the key. It's like looking at a Rorschach image. What is it you see? You and I may see completely different things. And maybe we dream, our night brain dream fires the same signals more or less every night, but every morning, since we are changing, we are never the same river twice. We interpret those signals differently according to who we are today. That's a big maybe. Exploring, what are we humans exploring? I keep saying that when we're like really deep in survival mode, our creativity and our exploration mode is dimmed. When your survival, like your shelter and your food and your means to live, are stable, and it doesn't need to be an awful lot. In today's day and age, having the internet and having free internet, a lot of places on this planet still don't have free internet. Maybe that is as it should be. It seems, from a limited worldly, earthly human perspective, there are certain things that should be just a given to humans. Free water, free shelter, free basic food, and free internet, free electricity. At least a certain amount, a base amount. If you need a lot more, well, then you see to it that you get more. I think the future will be exactly like that. But it may be that we no longer need electricity or we no longer need food. So what are we exploring? What are you exploring? And what do you enjoy exploring? And where are the communities that enjoy exploring what you enjoy exploring? Science, astrology, psychology, the gym, sex, food, your own emotional landscape, the stars, books, history. Oh, I mean, this earth, music, oh, art. This earth has so much. The inner worlds are as rich as the outer worlds to explore. It is incredible, and we keep adding things to explore. And then things get hidden, libraries get burned. So we have to re-explore, rediscover. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's fun. Maybe that's not so bad. In the moment, it seems a tragic thing when our spiritual monuments and our artworks that have maybe even survived many, many, many centuries are demolished. It feels like a tragic loss to human civilization or to humanity that those witnesses of time are destroyed. Maybe not all can ever be destroyed, and maybe, new monuments will be placed. And maybe some are so old. I'm thinking of those standing faces on the Easter Islands. They have a name. They're so old. We can only guess around what they really represent and who the people were that put them there and how they functioned. And it's such an act of skywalking to really want to know, to want to understand the people of the past. Why do we have that innately in us? At least some of us, to so deeply desire to understand the people from the past. Is it a part of ourselves that we hope to link up with? Is it a distraction from the present? Who accompanies the Skywalker, the world bridger? In the analog, I remind us we've just been through both of these wave spells. Seems like it was just yesterday. Skywalker and world bridger. I will not so soon forget those two. Analog and following each other in succession in the spin as wave spells. And yet, it's the analog. I didn't know it then. I wasn't really following it, the antipod, the analog wave spell, the other way around. But letting go and equalizing and opportunity, that's That's the support of the Skywalker. You explore something, you gotta let it go. If you want to know, you can't obsessively look at something all the time. You need a rest if you're exploring. You know, Einstein and them, great thinkers, have their greatest, or some of their greatest insights while taking a bath, a nap, a shower. So it's like you let go, and then in pops the insight. And what exactly is insight? Blue night and white wind, I'd say. Blue night, nighttime, not nighttime, dream time, dream, intuition, abundance, everything is there. So the Skywalker, the artist, the star is also the occult of the Skywalker, the explorer, the scientists, the thinkers, the philosophers, any of us, when we have a problem, while we are hell-bent on the problem, we often can't find the solution. It can't come. When we let go, World Bridger, in pops the inspiration or the insight or the intuition or the seeming chance meeting or that chance algorithm YouTube clip that just brings the answer or the respite, whatever it may be. It may be just that you need some food or some water that'll solve the emotional issues. Sometimes it's just based on that, because the body just experiences some kind of stress physiologically and relates it to you like a bad feeling, and then you may translate it as an emotional tight spot. But that comes out of the blue night. So if there is a problem worth exploring, and we're always exploring, life is a problem to explore. My boyfriend just invented the t-shirt for me. What was it in the front? I don't know, something about something, touch, some word, touch, I don't know what that was. And in the back, a problem to solve. We're joking around that lately. We are a problem to solve. I love that. I personally love that. Problem solver. I think the Skywalker is a problem solver. It makes us happy to problem solve. But you can't do that all the time. It's not a happy state to be in all the time. Every now and then you have to get yourself massaged. Oh, bliss, 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 bliss. I think I gave my as yet best 3-hour Lomi yesterday. Oh, my friend was just so blissed out, so blissed out. And she wept in the process, and there was pain, and there was release, and there was restructuring. It's so wonderful to be a part of that. Yeah. And the massage I received was also deeply restorative. All in alignment with these processes that I'm going through at the moment. Very supportive. Very wonderful. So exploring through the serpent, the body, helping the body to release, to shed skin, explore what can be let go. And yesterday in my massage, I got into a rare space of letting go of my mind. That really takes a long time. Usually I have to have my neck and head massage before my mind really releases itself. That was necessary yesterday. And I didn't go into mental storytelling about what's happening to me or what I'm releasing, nor did the body give me any stories during the massage as to what it was like. I don't know. There were no memories, nothing. Just consciously was in this beautiful space, like, yeah, some healing happens here. the body, the energies, the kahunas, the everyone who's involved here knows what it's doing, knows what's happening. I don't need to monitor the process. I don't need to control it. I can just be and experience it. I wasn't even exploring it. I was just breathing and releasing. It was very, 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 very wonderful. Dropping myself consciously into the night, wakefully into dream time. Lucid dreaming is a topic to explore. I'm personally at a space where I prefer currently just to be aware that I'm dreaming. And the funny thing is, I used to think that I have to be like conscious to decide what is it I want to be the next thing to happen in the dream. And each time I would get to that place, that level of consciousness, that level of decision making just woke me up. Especially with my decision phobia that I have so frequently. It's like, oh, how would I even begin to decide the direction of my dream? I mean, my goodness, I have a hard enough time making decisions in my waking life. Why would I ever want to make decisions in my dream time? I just totally realized that at some point. It's like, oh my, no. That's the wrong way around for me, at least. And I tune into a different frequency of me when I'm lucid dreaming that is not beta. That is really more observer mode. It's very, very, very exciting and very deeply satisfying. I'm not steering the dream, but I have a kind of cooperative presence. And there are occasionally just moments where I say, and shift the content over just ever so slightly and carry on dreaming. You know what I mean? It's like I do that wherever I can. I do that in my life a lot. Most of it happens intuitively. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not learning. I'm just exploring. I'm exploring what I already know in life. I'm becoming aware of how things work, and they're already perfect. I'm already perfect. I work perfectly. Every now and then, and every year now I don't, but in essence I do. It's actually more in the process of becoming conscious that the ego and the will kind of sort of come in. Sometimes. Okay, well that's a kind of like a one version of the story. But there is the other half with exploring. That's what I'm exploring. And then how to bring together this, it's easy. Abraham Hicks and All Them Reality Creating gurus are telling us exactly how it is that we create this reality, how we co-create it, how we steer, how we relax, what part we should do actively and which part we should not. Boneheaded tuts can really be like, trying to yank the fucking steering wheel around when God is saying like, no, sorry, you have made a decision. Yeah. And to trust that have I always made wise decisions to be where I am today? Oh, okay, let's not go there. Not today, but that's me skywalking my own life. But if I do too much of that, I end up not feeling very good if I go too deep into questioning or too deep into the works or whatever. It's good to do it pointedly. It's good to do it effectively. And there is an intention that sets itself naturally. A explore pointedly, and then let go and go explore something else, so that there's a problem we need to fix. Now go distract yourself. Unless already the intent, the flow is like, yeah, let's fix it now. Sometimes it's not. And you have to have the intuition working that says, this is for another day. Or you haven't got all the moving parts together yet. Or whatever. And instead of missioning and efforting, allow the flow. And that's the yellow human, the occult is the red moon. Now the occult wave, cosmic moon, is going backwards. It's the dragon wave, birthing, nurturing. No, wait. It's the earth wave. It's navigation, synchronizing, evolving. So our problems evolve, our solutions evolve, our relationships evolve, everything evolves, everything changes. Sometimes things die and they stop evolving. Like I have the second timeline going here on the side that I'm very aware of, that's busy dying. Good thing that is. There will be no continuation of that. That has been experienced to the full. And I should build a monument to that version of myself, because she deserves some honoring. But she will not move on into the future. And she's had her day. And that's the flow that transcends our humanity. But to transcend, remember, means to become more than, to remain and then some. We stay human and then we become like more than human, not entirely different. I don't know, maybe each of us gets to decide for themselves what they mean by transcending our humanity. But you don't transcend humanity by bypassing humanity, that much is for sure. So we need to embrace it fully. And I should say it every time in this wavespell. Forgiveness and understanding. And that's not condonance. We have a lot of stuff going on the planet, and it's very nice to see that we are cleaning up. We're finally arriving in a place where some real serious cleaning up is going on. Things are coming out of the dark. They have hidden themselves as far as they could. And the light that we're bringing onto the planet is lighting up their hiding places. And ideally, we should say to them, come out of hiding. Come, show yourselves. What are you doing? What have you done? Is that true? Is that what you want to have done? Is this requiring some healing? Does this require forgiveness? Does this require a collective realization of collective trauma? We're all here together, and splitting ourselves into we are the good guys and you are the bad guys, and we are free from sin, therefore we can stone you. It's not the way. That will just perpetuate and create another shadow and create another perpetrator. I mean, we may want to learn from history. So often the revolutionists themselves, with all their fantastic intentions of to make something better, become the next dictators. And respect, it is in accordance with the time. It is in accordance with the working of the system. But there comes a time where that gets to change. We get to repeat until we get to not repeat any longer. And it would save us considerable time if we didn't have to just keep circling around this thing. If we could say, We meet you with compassion. We meet these dark, dark stories with compassion. We hear the stories of the victims. We hear the stories of the perpetrators who are necessarily victims themselves in some way, shape, or form. And we see what that means about our humanity and how do we deal with it. Not condemningly, not full of judgment, not like chuck them all into prison and burn them at the stake, but like how do we integrate all of us into all of us? And what behaviors do we need to correct? What psychological fault lines do we need to shift? And which ones do we just need to be aware of and say we need to just deal with that? This isn't an illness. This is a fixture, like, and according to the level of consciousness we have or the understanding, we can't go beyond that individually or collectively, but through evolution, through experience, through time. Every now and then we can make a quantum jump, and maybe this is one. Maybe we're in the middle of one. Maybe if we quantum jump, we wouldn't know it. It would only show somehow in history. Future generations would be like, oh yeah, there were these humans with 2 legs. Oh, suddenly they have 3. There's nothing in between. But the 3-legged humans would somehow be probably, possibly, not even aware of their 2-legged ancestors. I wonder. They would be in a reality where they wouldn't see them, but the future generations would be able to observe both timelines. Wow, wild thought. Not a universal truth. So the skywalking is stabilizing and challenging the human, and the human has its antipod, the wind, breathing. When we are properly skywalking, we are at ease and at peace, maybe excited, life is good. When we're not, and the telltales are, we are guided by the serpent, so our nervous system is a telltale. When our nervous system is dysregulated, for example, when it's chronic, eventually the body will shift shape and will no longer be in optimal functioning. It changes our breathing patterns. And our breathing, white wind breath, is the antipod. And the whole wave spell of the white wind accompanies us. So the challenge to that one is, who's on that side? Blub, 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 blub. Blue night. Interesting. That's the lunar. In the wind wave spell, the blue night is stabilizing and challenging. Spirit. How is spirit challenged by abundance? Or how is breathing challenged by abundance? Or by dream? I have no idea. Right now, wait, do I have to explore that? That would be a skywalking exploration. I'm not going to do that right now. But definitely it stabilizes. Definitely the energy, the spirit pours itself into the night. Possibly spirit to me is a thing of wakefulness. It is a thing of consciousness. And the night is in many ways a thing of the unconscious. But this is me just thinking out loud, really. We'll get there. We'll get to explore that, and it's much easier to explore it when the day is here. Because anyway, then we can tune into the collective field of everyone who is on that day. Like today, all the dream weavers who are dream spell dream weavers are in the Lunar Skywalker, and we are synchronized with each other. So we are touching hands today, every day. Yesterday, yellow human, magnetic. So what is the unified purpose? Did you find out yesterday? Do you know what your unified purpose as a human on this planet is? Yeah. I got it. Deeply satisfying. And then there are many temporary or short-term purposes. That may be just the purpose for today. And today's purpose is to skywalk and to stabilize our challenges, to stabilize ourselves by exploring our challenges, by using our intuition, by dreaming when it's time to dream. And remember, if you listened or not, I explored the importance of the different brain states, daydreaming and night dreaming. We go insane and die if the REM sleep gets blocked, the dreams part of the sleep. Experiments have shown if we let people sleep but wake them always just before they start dreaming, and then let them fall asleep again and wake them, that's like equally bad to they might as well not sleep at all. It's not restorative to the system. When that restoration doesn't happen in that either dreams, in that brain state, whatever level we want to place what happens there at, it is vital force, red serpent. This Skywalker, guided by the red serpent, lunar to the yellow human. There are two other Skywalkers that are guided by the serpent, the resonant one and the crystalline. So the resonance with everything for the Skywalker, it has to include the body. We can go completely mental and leave the body very much. But in 3 wave spells, I don't know, perhaps you can't. Perhaps that's, the resonant is red moon, star, is the wave spell of the world bridger. Its own analog. How amazing. I love that. You have to also resonate with dying. The body too. It's like shake yourself loose of all that old stuff. We are eternal beings. We never die. Consciously learning to die. I've been wanting to really go through that process. And I'm going to. That's a choice. That's an intention I've set many, many, many years ago. And my whole life trajectory has moved me towards that. And I live, as we all do, many timelines at the same time. So there are many trajectories going at times in opposite direction. And maybe it is the reconciling, the resonant tone is when we dream in our own selves. If we don't resonate in dream time with all, that's where all the timelines can converge and be present at the same time, which is why our dreams are often so like skipping realities and things that could not happen in the reality timeline in any one of them can happen. They can meet you simultaneously. You can be in all of them at once when you dream. And the Skywalker can have the ability to go consciously into that space, probably at some point. Yeah. But in the meantime, we do it while we sleep. And then the 12th Skywalker would be the wave spell of the antipod is the night, so it has to be the wind. How very interesting that we have the wind, the wave spell of the wind is present in this entire wave spell of the yellow human as an antipode. So when the human wave spell hits tone 12, it's tone 11, tone 12. Wait, the antipode is the wind, so that's 11. 12 is blue night. Yeah, of course. And then the analog antipode wave. This is a little too deep analysis. My mind is like, just feel it. Just feel it. So anyhow, the point being that too is the guide of the serpent is guiding that one in the night. In the night wave spell. In the wind wave spell. So this spiritual connection, to me, it emphasizes, or it just reminds me, my mind, I'm just exploring what imagery, what stories does my mind associate with the imagery of the Tzolk'in. And in this particular case, it brings out this body is spirit, matter is mother, mother. The root of the word is the same. And mother is spirit, is mother and father, mother earth, father sun, mother earth, father sky. And we are the offspring, but we have all what they are within us. We are spirit and matter, but matter is spirit, made in some way manifest. All these timelines, we are all of them. And I'm amazed for myself to notice that some months ago, maybe a little more, I could have said these very same words and not been so fully immersed in the realization of, yeah, I know what that means now. I really, really do understand that I'm living, that I am this, we gotta stay practical. So there's always the tether to the practical, which is why the Skywalker is lunar in the human, because you can really go too far out. You can lose a little bit of touch with the practical humanity, or lose yourself in dream when our humanity becomes difficult. We can lose ourselves in worlds to soothe the difficulty of the human. Then we're polarizing, not stabilizing, because we're polarizing and only going with the one pole. We're not balancing male and female, yin and yang, light and dark. And I notice for myself, one of the reasons, I may have said this many times before, I steer myself so consciously, not forcefully all of the time, but when a cloud comes, when a darkness overcomes me, I've always done that. I go into it. I explore it to whatever degree I can. When I don't, and I know what it does when I don't, because automatically I have downloaded programmings from my environment where it is avoidance. And I answer of the malady of avoidance with the opposite, and to the detriment of some of not my closer friends, because they don't see me often enough that they get too much of my darkness, but any life partners I have, any partnerships I have, people who are very, very close to me, can be like, but when a problem gets ignored, I start obsessing about it. And I realize I will do that until the light has balanced, until there's balance. Denial is not an option. And I am human, so for my human side, that is an option. I do that too, unbeknownst to myself. I have my own shadow, but I see exactly what that does to me and I explore it so that I know it semi-consciously. I have to consciously agree to becoming unconscious. I have consciously to agree to run the problem software so that I can consciously explore it and come up with a solution for anyone who wants one. Like, yeah, to understand what's it mean to be human. How do we, to transcend our humanity, is my purpose in life, the cosmic human. How does this software work? It's no point. I mean, yeah, we can stumble around in the dark, and we should, but not forever. You mean we can be so separated from spirit, but please not forever. The resonant human is really resonating with spirit. It's really the resonant human. It's very funny. How is that the lunar and the resonant have the same guide, tone-wise, and then the crystalline, the tone that cooperates with each other. It's always the same guide. Whatever the guide guides us towards our stability on the lunar tone. The human, for the sun, it's the human, that the lunar sun is guided by the human. We've been there in the last wave spell. So the resonant sun, which is the first sun we meet in the whole spin, in the wave spell of the wizard, is also guided by the human. So consciousness life is in deep, deep, deep resonance with our humanity, and our humanity is guiding it. Which humans are guided by the sun? Human 5 and 10 overtone, the center of the wave spell of the star, like the radiant command center of the human, of the artist, is guided by the sun. So when we really become our most beautiful is when that guidance has reversed. Don't say the wrong thing now. And on 10, it's the wave spell of the blue light. So that's really interesting to see, because why the night being this really important aspect to the Skywalker in the lunar position of the human, the way we explore, the way we dream, the way we disconnect from spirit, the way we may go into nightmares eventually. If we're not integrated, if we're not whole, if we're not resonating on all our frequencies, if we're going into polarization without stabilization, we're going to be challenged. We can polarize and stabilize and also be challenged, but then it's going to be a positive kind of challenge. The challenge that says, this is going to make me grow. The negative challenge will also make us grow, but we will not at first see it that way. We will only see it on hindsight. When the yellow crystal human or the crystal Skywalker or whoever on the crystalline tone, that's when we bring together our life experience. On that tone we can see, that's hindsight. That's like, that's what that was all about. That's what that was good for. That's tone 12. And it has tone 11 before itself, the liberate, release, liberate, dissolve, release, liberate. We have to dissolve, release ourselves, liberate ourselves from an experience or be liberated by it, depending on where you stand, to be in that position of hindsight. When you're in it, you don't have hindsight. You have hindsight when you're through it. And yeah, sometimes takes a lot of time before a big experience, you need a big distance to it to really realize, oh. And sometimes it's many lifetimes before we're far enough away from something to see, oh, that's what that served. That's what that actually was good for. And then we get to look at all the lifetimes in between where we, or the path, it can be the distance of a day. But then we can look at, usually when there's a path, a longer path, along that path, we build up toward that experience. We add resentment. We add a lot of shit because we are not yet understanding the good in it. So that's when it usually makes that path of actually seeing the situation clearly and understanding the gifts in it. It fogs, it adds fog to the path, makes it harder to see. And that's where the world bridger comes. That's where we need to let go. We need to die, we need to forget. We need to really, really, really every forgetting is temporary, because nothing is ever forgotten. Every experience, everything is stored in our DNA, in the crystalline grid, whatever. No experience is ever lost. We can have access to every experience, every human, every non-human, everything has ever had. Would flood our system, which is not necessary, makes no sense, but in theory that is possible, because the experience, nothing is ever forgotten. So as far as me and my own experiences are concerned, none of them are forgotten. All of them are stored in me. And I am the collective manifestation of all my life's experiences. And so letting go helps us sometimes to release the fog and to create enough distance between ourselves and experiences that when the memory comes back, it can come clean. MDMA is one of those substances that used to be used quite widely. When they found it was very effective, they illegalized it. I'm sure there was absolutely no other reason for it. In some places like Switzerland, they're still legally using it in psychotherapy or in therapeutic settings to treat PTSD. There are other psychoactive substances that are very effective in treating PTSD. MDMA makes it so that you can remember a traumatic experience and not re-experience the emotional trauma. You get to just experience the situation itself, and you can look at it and re-educate your red serpent you re-educate the nervous system, you re-educate your body, you heal the traumatic memory. You don't make the event unhappened, but you no longer need to check out. You no longer need to have the traumatic response. And that's very, very powerful. That's the Lunar Skywalker. Healing, that's any Skywalker, but for our humanity, it's really, and the Skywalker is part of the serpent wavespell. Solar, the solar Skywalker. And the solar Skywalker is guided by what? Wait. The moon, it releases the flow, it releases memory, cleaning up memory. Very beautiful. You see the elegance of the system. So when we go into the dream time, into the unconscious, into the blue night, wakefully with therapeutic assistance, human assistance, wisdom, and healing, the healer, and the substance, such as any psychoactive substance, such as MDMA, you can go into the nightmare of an experience or your unconscious and reprogram it in one session. And because of that, the system that says, no, you gotta come and take our pill for the next 200 years and pay us money for the next 200 years and come and sit on our couch for the next 200 years and never change anything so that you keep on coming for the next 200 years also, does not want true change. I think we have to realize that. At least anyone who's listening here, I'm sure, is realizing that. And we're not fighting that system. We're just not going there anymore. And by that, red moon, if each human is a drop of water in this river that nurtures that source, we are removing more and more drops from that river will dry out eventually. But we need to be very, very compassionate with the last drops in that river, because they have a very difficult relationship with the source of that thing. We can just be very compassionate with that, and compassionate with the creators of this crappy system, so to speak, because they're coming from some wound. They're coming from old energy. They're coming from a place where they knowingly hurt. They knowingly hurt us in the name of profit. That is a fact on this planet in many places. Condemnation is not the answer. Just leaving that matrix and let it be. It will dry itself out. And then in that stress, eventually it will transform itself. Stress is a great transformer. World bridger. It's a killer. It's like the snake venom that enters you and causes you to have to fight for your life. And either you bring up all the resources that says, fuck this, I'm living. I'm going to live. This is why childhood illnesses are so important. They should be had. The child will live or die. And when it lives, the immune system has an experience that it needs for the rest of its life. When it dies, no worries. It comes back in another form. When we avoid that, again, this theme of avoidance, avoiding when we're not linked to spirit. Yellow human is not linked with its antipode, white wind. It does not function. It does not understand. It avoids it thinks it's doing a good thing. But blue hand, it's analog, is going to, and red moon, it's occult, are not going to work properly down the line. You throw toxins in the river close to the source, into the child. Sometimes the river cleanses itself. Certain things, the earth and the water and whatever, cleanse the water. Certain things contaminate that water all the way to the source. I mean, to the, what is the other side of the river? Wherever it leads to. So we want to be really, really mindful of that and use our intuition, use our spirit, our connection with spirit to know what are we doing here, what are we avoiding, and what is the aim of that, and how long are we going to. Sometimes it's good, let's avoid this for a while we're going to find a solution, so that when we reintroduce this, we have the actual medicine, and not need to inoculate a whole population in avoidance and in profit making, and thereby halting or hindering evolution, immune system evolution. I'm not saying each and every time that is the case. We ought to be wakeful, mindfully exploring that and checking out what is really going on here. And we have time to do so. We have about an eternity to do so. So run every system and see where it leads. At the moment, we are not understanding a lot of cause and consequence yet, in my eyes. We're not really getting it yet. We're looking, why do we have such an explosion of cancer on the planet, for example? Autoimmune disease. I mean, I'd say globally, we probably the sickest humanity has ever been. Maybe like during the plague or something, there was a spell in part of the world where there was a lot of like weeding out. And we're going to have to probably, I mean, we're very advanced medically that we can really interfere with those kind of cleansing processes. That's totally red moon, the occult of the yellow human. They are cleansing processes that are very natural, but we interfere with them all the time. And does it serve us? We will yet see where we thought it served, and maybe for the time it served, eventually we'll realize, oops, oops, oops. And then we will course correct. And that's as it should be. It's a good thing. None of us get to avoid that. That is, that is a given as human. Our bodies cleanse themselves. They know how it's done. The less we interfere, the better. They heal themselves. Our bodies are their own healers. And if and where we get a little stuck, then we become healers to each other, to help each other through. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, are we done yet? In this wave spell, Spirit is on tone 11. As always, the antipode of the magnet is always tone 11, the liberator. That in itself is like so deeply meaningful. And in this case, it's spirit. Spirit liberates human from itself. And human and spirit change position for a day. But also, I mean, in the fractal, everything is now. So this relationship and the spectral tone 11, is a combination of 551 or 10 and 1. And it's interesting that 5 and 10 have the same guides. Amazing. So, and then the 1 guided by itself. So you have a double power, which is great because the next tone is crystalline. 2 5s and 2 1s. I love it. And then transcendence, tone 13, is a third 1. That's like it's 5 and 5 and 1 and 1 and 1. That's transcendence. It's everything we've been through and more. Like there is a 4 missing. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 5. We have any combination of those except the 4. The 4 is not in there at all. It's even 5. 3 dots and 2 lines equals to 5. 5. So where is the 4? in this wave spell, the 4 sits is a human Skywalker wizard eagle. The eagle, and the next wave spell is the serpent, and the antipod is the eagle. So we're always the very interesting self-existing eagle, the self-existing tone. Maybe self-existing has an element of independence. It can exist independent of the others, seemingly. Everything is always seemingly, because nothing exists independent of anything else. But I mean, within certain frameworks, of course, I exist independent of every other human on this planet. And in modern society, but I can't. I don't, of course. I can't even get a single piece of food into my mouth. Okay, I can plant something, but then I'm not independent of the seed, the fruit, the earth, that, so I'm not at all independent. But again, it depends on the perspective, on the layers. So there is, of course, also independence and self-existing for a moment in the wave spell of the human, the eagle being self-existing. And it is the antipode to the serpent. So the serpent being the guide today, and the serpent cannot do without the eagle. They are separate, as human and spirit are separate, but they're not separate. They appear separate. Appearance. That's a good word. Appearance is a great word. Everything has to be coming to me through appearance, because I can never see a thing for what it is, because I'm always wearing a filter. All of reality is experienced through as it appears to us in a certain way, according to our settings, our filters, our installations, our understanding, our everything. So the self-existing eagle, for a moment to understand there is a mind self-existing beyond what like independent, and it gives form, it defines and forms. Very interesting. That's a bit of a novel thought for me, and I look forward to exploring that in 2 days' time. The star here today, I want to always remind us of the star. Beauty, art, elegance, elegant living, elegant motion. When you watch a serpent move, that is pure elegance. When you see an eagle or a bird, take an eagle. Some birds, they flap their wings a lot, so the frequency is too small. But in any case, an eagle is like pure elegance. I mean, gosh. But all of nature is pure elegance. It's beauty, it's art. God is an artist. Mother Nature, Father Nature, they are artists. We are artists. We are the art created by artists. We are artists. We are art. And we are beautiful. And this star, the occult of the Skywalker, it's in the Skywalker wave spell, it's the cosmic Skywalker, the cosmic star, which is at once the end of the analog sun wave spell, which we've just gone through, attached as the analog to the storm wave spell, which ends in the crystalline, in the cosmic star, and it is the final point of the warrior wave spell, who we have again on tone 5 in this wave spell. Command Radiant Center. The star under this Skywalker is tone 12. Because we're going backwards It's tone 12 out of the wavespell of the earth. And its crystalline tone is dedicate, universalize, cooperate. So we are here to cooperate with each other. Survival of the cooperation. it's all there. It's not survival of the fittest. But fitness is an important part of life. Make no mistake about that. Unfitness, well, we've managed to survive for a long time longer in very with unfitness as humans than any element of any plant or animal or aspect of nature ever could. If they got to be as unfit as we, they would just be like not living another day. Can't get your own food, nobody's going to bring it to you unless you are a baby. And why do we humans in this state and stage of our evolution, why have we devolved? Why do we devolve? Why do we return into this state of helplessness? Is it because we are blocking our evolution by various means? So we are not growing on our challenges because from early on we were taught to avoid them. And when you keep avoiding, challenges keep coming. If your modus operandi is avoidance, ish, as is ish. So I really encourage us to face the pain. And yesterday I thought to myself, I always come up with these ideas of who I want to be. Who do you want to become when you grow up? When I grow up, I want to be a darkness coach. I want to be a darkness coach. I want to have you come to me with your darkest darkness that you can't carry on your own, that you're too afraid to face, that you don't know where to talk about it with, whatever it may be. Bring it. I'll help you carry that. I'll show you that it's not as dark. I just put some light into it. Whatever. It's like I'm built for that. Once I'm stable enough. What is my challenge? Red dragon. Red dragon combined with white dog meeting in the blue monkey is a challenge. When that quartet, red sun, white dragon, red dog, and yellow monkey, excuse my nonsense, when they grrr together, when I am strong, when I am no longer afraid of myself or whatever, then that's one of the things I want to be. And you know what? I am that already. I've always been that already. So many people have come to me and used me for that. And it's been a wonderful experience, truly. So, yeah, it's great. Life's beautiful. The good, the bad, and ugly. And yeah, compassion. My dog is teaching me a lot of healing. So this yellow human, he doesn't have a dog in his wave spell. Where do we meet the dog as a human? Monkey? Mm-mm. No monkey here, except wherever the monkey is, then there will be a dog. It's twice removed, yeah? We have a sun in this wave spell. Solar sun. Oh, divine, 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 which means antipode still, but solar. Solar dog. We can really link with that Link love, link love, link love, link love in consciousness. Consciously loving. Choose love. Choose love, choose love, choose love. Intend it, pulse it. Self-love, loving others. And sometimes you won't love, and that's okay. Compassion would say, hey, it's okay. If you don't have to love everything. You don't have to love everyone. You don't have to be kind all the time. You will be naturally, eventually. But until you've learned to assert your boundaries and speak your truth without having to get angry about it or rude, you will. And then, okay, you're learning. Blue monkey, child. Dog is the occult. It's the teacher. And the medicine, love, compassion. And where else do we meet the dog? Sun, and then we have, who else is on the dog? The dragon. No, the dragon. No, what am I talking nonsense? The moon. We also don't have a direct moon in this way spell. So we only need the dog as the analog, antipod to the sun. So in the antipod wave spell. So we better really keep in touch, and that's the solar dog in the wave spell of the wind, spirit. Spirit is love. Spirit is solar love. The sun is love. We're breathing sunlight. We're breathing love. We're breathing love code from the sun. We're inhaling and exhaling love codes. Not love versus hate. Not like versus dislike. But universal fire. Life itself. Life is love. Life is nurturance of love. And death is a part of that. The wave spell of the wind does not have, oh yes, the world bridges on tone 5. It's the center radiant command. The command center of spirit is death. It's letting go. It's creating new opportunities. It's timeline splitting. It's living something. Nothing dies untimely. Nothing. I've got this other part of me, as bad as this part of me feels, in her own dying process because of conditioning. But she's very aware, I have fully, and I will until I die, fully experience everything about me. That part of me is not the whole of me, can never be the whole of me. That part of me will be laid to rest because all the experiences have been had. She's been milked dry. She's ready to die, to release all her parts, all her experience in the crystal tone. Crystal dog. Ha! Guided by wind. That's my whole year. You're going to hear all about that. Ready to die, ready to lay it to rest, because the experience is complete. And if it isn't complete, the transition is just temporary and will be completed in another time or whatever. Then the experience of death is just relative in another way. But part of the resistance to death, when we say it's untimely or whatever, is we go to heaven kicking and screaming. And the concept of the beauty of the afterlife, in some religious contexts it's really been misused, not because it's not true that there is this reward in heaven or whatever, but that gets used in order to keep people suffering and not rise up and not decide, hey, heaven is supposed to be a place on earth. Shout out to Belinda Carlisle. Heaven is a place on earth. It's everywhere. Skywalker, bring heaven to earth. Leave the religion if it just keeps you in suffering. But don't leave it, just transform it. Just bring your own light of understanding into the religion and say, you know what? There's a lot of good in here. We love it. And this is the light in it. And we are doing that. It's so beautiful what we are doing. If it's only a few individuals and you're not seeing the collective embrace the light just yet, it's fine. It's still happening. We're still doing it. every artist is not necessarily producing art for the masses. Art is rarely for the masses. It's always for a few, the ones who can appreciate it. Let the sheep be the sheep. Let the NPCs be the NPCs. Honor them, bless them, love them. You're not one of them, of course, neither am I. But in someone else's life, we are. So we also want to be blessed and honored. We're not playing their game. We're just the ones walking across the other side of the sidewalk, you know. So it's like we have no relevance, and maybe they look down on us. Who cares? I mean, who cares? Self-existing me doesn't care. Self-existing human, wavespell of red moon. Honestly, red moon, white dog, blue monkey, illumin. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. 1 hour 20. I enjoyed myself in any case. If you've made it to here, I hope you did too. If you checked out earlier, I'm talking to Spirit. Yeah. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful Skywalker day. And love yourself a lot. Laugh at yourself when you don't love yourself a lot. Yeah. I'm thinking about giggling. Giggling is really a wonderful thing. You can't fake that. You can't fake a giggle. Giggling is nice. I wish us light and love and beauty, and to face our challenges with curiosity. When it's too much, go sleep. Allow dream to be the healer. Rest and sleep. Play and have fun. The lunar night is guided by the eagle. So if you can't sleep, take yourself into a trance or into such a deep rest that you take your brain wakefully, Skywalker, into theta, at least alpha, but you can go deeper, and it will do a very similar restoration to sleep and dream. And if we can't, we often can't because we are restless. We don't sleep well because we're restless. Then we may want to find rest, explore the restlessness, be present, check yourself out when you're restless, look around. What's going on in your body? Check it out, be present. What's going on in your feet, in your legs, in your intestines, in your sex organs, in your throat, in your heart, in your lungs. How are you breathing? Where's tension? Where's your body holding tension? Where's pain being avoided? What's going on in your mind? What's going on in your feelings? What's going on? Be with it. It might get very, very uncomfortable. And if it gets too uncomfortable, distract yourself for a moment and then come back. Distract yourself for a moment and then come back. Rhythmic. Go move. Shake. If you can't sleep, get up, shake. If you're hungry, eat something. Don't overeat. Please. Don't avoid through food. It's not a good idea. Really isn't. Enjoy your food if you eat though. Go dance. Put on some music. Distract yourself. You will always go back to sleep and be facing your restlessness again if you can't sleep. So explore yourself until you become your own healer. Yeah, I want to leave us with that. Have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow. Aho.